Hello and welcome to live coverage of this Women's FA Cup fifth round tie between Championship pace-setters Liverpool and WSL leaders Arsenal. The hosts were comfortable 6-0 winners over Lincoln City in the last round, while the Gunners narrowly defeated Championship opposition in the form of London City Lionesses by 1-0. So Jonas Eidevall's side arrived top of the WSL after that 0-0 draw with Chelsea. He has shuffled his pack this afternoon with a hectic schedule on the way for his side, with the likes of Miedemar and Blackstenius both beginning on the bench for his side. As for Liverpool, a couple of switches for them as well. They arrive in great form, 7 straight Championship victories. So here are the fifth round fixtures. Already saw a huge win for Chelsea on Saturday as they knocked out Leicester City following a 7-0 success. A couple of other early games as well, amongst them Manchester United against Manchester City. Charlton Athletic are at home to Everton. It's Durham, Birmingham City, West Ham United at Reading, West Brom against Coventry United, and Ipswich Town face Southampton. So here we are then, Prenton Park is the venue for this one, and Laura Bassett is alongside me for the match. Laura, this is almost certainly going to be a WSL fixture next season. It's a great game and a real test for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think these two sides are having an exceptional league form, aren't they? Both sides only lost one league game, so it's going to be a really exciting contest, especially with Liverpool having the home advantage as well in front of all these fans. I'm sure that'll play a big part, and it's a free hit, isn't it, at Arsenal? See how close you are. No, I think Matt Beard's already described it as a no-pressure game. See exactly how you're going to perform and give it your best shot.
And we saw in the last round that Arsenal had their struggles against a side from lower down the food chain.
Yeah, that's right, and I think it was kind of an underwhelming performance, but it was a bit of a team that was put together that didn't really have a lot of cohesion, and maybe we'll see that again today in terms of both teams coming back off a heavy international fixture log. So it's more about managers seeing exactly who's fit and managing player loading, and also looking at the games ahead. Well,
Arsenal were 1-0 winners when they defeated London City Lionesses in the fourth round. They are unbeaten in all of their last 5 in all competitions. And Liverpool, as we mentioned, currently top of the Women's Championship. Played 15, won 12, drawn 2, lost 1, 10 points clear, and almost certain to return to the top flight next term. It is a game that they can go into to try and enjoy rather than feel any pressure, and it will be a bit of a litmus test for where they might stand in the WSL next season. Expecting a decent attendance at Prenton Park this afternoon. The conditions are resplendent, as you can see. Matt Beard saying that they are all very excited and very much looking forward to it. He's made 2 changes from the last game, their victory over Sunderland, the 2 alterations. See Missy Bo-Kearns come into the side. She came on as a sub and scored a penalty in that game. Melissa Lawley also into the starting lineup. Charlotte Wardlaw and Rachel Furness are the 2 to drop out. As for Arsenal, a shuffling of the pack from Jonas Eidevall from that goalless draw with Chelsea. 4 alterations. Williams is in goal. Paris and McCabe come in. McCabe was suspended for the Chelsea game, and a rare start for Mana Iwabuchi as well. Zinsberger, Miedemar and Blackstenius move to the bench. Beth Mead is rested. So Laura, your thoughts on the team news coming into the game?
Really interesting from Arsenal's point of view. They had some players were still in England and still in around the Arsenal training ground because they went to the Asian Cup, so they weren't required to go away. So that's probably why we're seeing Ford, Iwabuchi, Catley and Williams start. Also Volti didn't go away with her national team, so you could say they're energised. Their players are ready to go. They haven't been playing fixtures in the last 10 days, so that's really interesting to see how they hit the ground running and start. Whereas you look at Liverpool, and how it's really intriguing me how pragmatic is Matt Beard gonna go. They've obviously in the Championship they have a lot of the ball. They dictate and they control a lot of games in their 3-4-3, very attacking style. So how pragmatic will he be today, or will they just play their style and really take the game to Arsenal? It's going to be intriguing.
Jonas Eidevall saying that they have massive respect for Liverpool and the season that they're having. Arsenal do have a lot of fixtures coming up, so decision-making on team selection has to be good and has to combine long-term and short-term thinking. And in terms of his praise for the opposition, he says you can't ask for much more than what Liverpool have done so far this season. Winning the league is always difficult, as he thinks they're going to do. Before we get underway, the players, match officials and coaching staff take a knee. Arsenal, of course, in their change strip this afternoon of all yellow, and they will get the game underway, kicking from right to left in this first half at Prenton Park. Well, a contrast in terms of the opposition from the second tier that Arsenal are facing in back-to-back FA Cup games. London City Lionesses, followed up by the Championship juggernaut that is Liverpool. Where do you think this game might be won and lost today, Laura?
Well, it's certainly in the midfield. You know, Arsenal have got such a strong midfield with Little, Volti and Iwabuchi, that all three of them are very comfortable on the ball, really good intelligent movement. So I think if you look at Kearns and Holland, they certainly have a tough test to do. Interesting, Rachel Furness is on the bench, who's a very physical player, very exceptional in the air and exceptional from set pieces. So it'll be interesting to see how their midfield works and whether Stengel drops in to help in those situations. But I certainly feel if Arsenal get into their rhythm and dictate with those central three players, you know, it's going to be a long afternoon for Liverpool.
Iwabuchi sniffing around, unable to make the most of it. Nice to see her get a start as well. She is a real talent, but perhaps Arsenal haven't seen the best of her so far this season.
Yeah, I certainly think so. I think with competition for place, isn't it? We've seen her play off the left-hand side in more of a wide area, coming into positions, but actually now playing central, being able to get on the ball more and find the spaces in between the units. You know, that's really where she likes to do. She likes to get on the front foot. She likes to play forward balls and assist with her intelligent passes. So it'd be interesting to see how she can dictate from more of a central area.
Valti sending it back. Williamson. Was some suggestion that she might be given a breather this afternoon, but does retain her place in the starting lineup. There is Matt Beard, who said he came in with a job to get Liverpool back into the WSL and is well on course to do that.
That's right, and I think Matt Beard's got so much WSL experience as well as experience overseas in the NWSL. Likewise, have a lot of these Liverpool players, and that's why it's great. You know, sometimes teams from championships and players, they might freeze on the stage because they haven't played at that level, but majority of Liverpool players have got WSL and international experience, and that makes a massive difference when these fixtures are played.
Maritz to no one in yellow. Matt Beard returning as Liverpool FC women manager for the second time in May 2021. Jonas Eidevall having his first crack with the Arsenal women's side. Still top of the table, although it's not in their own hands after that 0-0 draw with Chelsea at Kingsmeadow. Finished 0-0, but that was a game of real quality. I had the pleasure of commentating on it. Real ebb and flow. They do have a stack of fixtures on the horizon in the next week or so, though. So perhaps that playing into the alterations he's made today. Back to Rachel Laws, who I saw gave an interview in the week saying that she does a lot of homework before matches, really shows great attention to detail, but with Arsenal they ooze so much class, can't really do that much work to try and combat them.
Really, I think Rachel Laws is super key to this Liverpool team. She's a leader. I've known her at international England camps, and she's such a mature player, and she's key to this Liverpool team because she communicates so well and she knows how to win a game. So for all the other players to look to experience and look to her body language and how she prepares and performs, she's huge because she's always a super good role model.
Daniels with the throw. All the way back to Laws, although it's going to be picked up by Niamh Fahey, who recently picked up her 100th international cap. Brilliant achievement, which Matt Beard spoke about in the build-up to the game. And there was a presentation before kick-off here as well. Well, you can hear there, Catley's unimpressed. Katie McCabe not happy either. Seeing her a lot higher up the pitch this afternoon as well. I mean, she is such a talent, so versatile, but she does give them an extra option with that energy and power that she brings on the flank.
Well, and also assists, isn't it? You know, not just those dynamic physicalities that she brings, but it's also a quality on the ball. So from deliver up for higher up the pitch, you know, it enables her to get assists.
Here goes Kiernan, though. Managed to pick the pocket of Raffaelli. Now Catley. And again, a loose pass. Arsenal not quite settling into their rhythm. Daniels. And Robe goes all the way home. Well in by Holland. Williamson sorts out her feet. Maritz. And Paris just runs out of pitch. Opportunity for Nikita Paris, who's not quite got motoring in an Arsenal shirt so far this term. Catley. Raffaelli. Going for the big switch. Paris can't control.
I think we're seeing Liverpool set up as they would in their normal Championship League domestic campaign. You know, it's a back three of Roberts, Fahey and Robe, but also it's really interesting that Daniels has been asked to do this right wing-back position. We normally see her higher up the pitch and Hines on the left-hand side, but really good start from Liverpool. I think they're really composed on the ball. They don't look flustered or that you know, they want to take the game and they're playing their style, which is really interesting.
And they're on the move here as well. Kiernan just took a bit too long. Raffaelli back to mop things up. Important interception that.
It's a wake-up call, isn't it, for Arsenal there? I think Stengel's doing great work. We normally see her higher up leading the line, but she's dropping in to win back the ball. And if it wasn't a poor touch from Kiernan, she could have been in. Again, but it's a wake-up call from Arsenal. Good recovery pace and reading of the situation by Raffaelli. But again, a better touch and we could have got a shot off a goal. But yeah, Stengel is picking up. I think she's dropping a little bit deeper to deal with Volti, who likes to dictate players that hold in defensive midfielder.
Last time Arsenal were away to Liverpool, they ran out 3-2 winners, although that wasn't played at Prenton Park. Viviana Miedema on the bench for Arsenal this afternoon. She's actually scored 7 goals in her last 4 games against Liverpool. She'll be chomping at the bit to get on at some stage. Stengel, who has proved to be a good acquisition in January for Liverpool, loses out there, helped on by Iwabuchi. But too many in red back to block the route to goal. Williams. Here's Williamson. The feeling both sides yet to really settle into a rhythm.
Yeah, I tend to agree, especially, you know, having the sequences of 8, 9, 10 passes. We haven't really seen that yet. But I think all credit to Liverpool. I think they're high, they're not dropping deep, and, you know, they're really taking the game to Arsenal and pressing a little bit higher.
McCabe, Iwabuchi almost wriggled her way through. Kiernan. She's Liverpool's top scorer in the Championship this season with 12 goals, Leanne Kiernan. Well, they're asking for a foul there, and they're going to get it against Steph Catley. Stengel, the player, flattened.
I think Katie Stengel coming in for Liverpool is such a key signing. She's the target centre forward, can hold the ball up really well, and she's a big physical player, got lots of experience overseas in the NWSL, big personality. And when you know that someone like that is leading your line in these big games, you know, she can draw those free kicks and get you up the pitch just like that, as easy as that.
Won a Norwegian Women's Cup in October with Vålerenga. Did Stengel ahead of January move to Merseyside. Oh, gone for goal there. And a long way from testing Lydia Williams was Missy Bo Kearns.
Obviously, she's shaped up as though she's going to deliver it into the back post, and decided with a bit of disguise to go goal-bound, but off target. But really interesting, I think it may be on the opening 10 minutes, put the ball into that area. Liverpool have got some great attacking players who love to attack the ball in the air, with Fahy, Roberts, Stengel, really good opponents that can really do some damage from set pieces. So you'd like to think maybe the next attacking set piece from Liverpool, they would put it in an area to say to their players, right, go and attack it.
Liverpool recorded their 7th straight victory in the Women's Championship with a 3-0 victory over Sunderland last time out. Penalties from Stengel and Kearns, either side of a goal from Jana Daniels. Laws with the launch upfield, good distance on that too. Little. I'm saying as well, Laura, it's interesting that Liverpool had a large amount of players on international duty during the last window, when normally you'd expect it to be the higher ranked side in a cup tie who've had to contend with more of that.
That's right. I think 12 players for Liverpool going away with their national team. And it's a nightmare for managers, it really is, because although you want your players to do well for the national team and perform well, you know, you don't really know what state psychologically, emotionally, physically you're getting your players back. So it really is a case of having perhaps 2 sessions to prepare for the next opposition, and you really have to prioritise and pick the players that you feel best, that are in the best possible state to perform it and get the result that you want.
Williamson takes no chances with that, although it might turn into a handy pass. Chased down by Ford, who's been feeding off scraps so far, and she's offside as she tried to get on the end of that one.
Caitlin Ford's another player that we've seen operating off the left side, off the right side, and not many through the centre, because obviously the competition with Miedemar and now Blackstenius, but she really is a willing runner. She will run into the channel, she will stretch the back line. And that was close, and she will look to offer, especially with the quality that Arsenal have in midfield and at the back with Raffaelli and Williamson especially.
The last goal was for Australia. Caitlin Ford in the 18-0 win over Indonesia. Steady start this from Liverpool, although possession turned over there, poked forwards by Roberts. Williamson all the way back to Williams. taking her time. And immediately the Liverpool press is well orchestrated. Here's Paris. Williamson bringing it out from the back so well, as she so often does, and is fouled.
But like you say, it's a really organised, thorough, high press from Liverpool, something that we've seen them do before. It's more of a player for player, really ambitious, really brave, especially to do against the WSL League leaders, but all credit to them, it is working for them. They are eventually winning the ball back. It's how now do Arsenal solve that and be a little bit more braver and maybe travel and drive and dribble round a player.
Kiernan crowded out. But Caitlin Ford can't make anything of it. Well, Arsenal certainly well advised not to take the championship leaders lightly. 10 points clear at the top of the championship, and of course coached by the manager who led them to successive WSL titles in 2013 and 2014. Things rather fell apart after that when he crossed the Atlantic to take charge of Boston Breakers, but he's now overseeing a fine rebuild on Merseyside. Not like Katie McCabe to have something to say to the referee, although she's got just cause there.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've seen an earlier one with Mal Lawley, a foul on Williamson driving out, and now Kiernan doing the same on McCabe. So obviously that's something that they've highlighted. If they do beat that forward line, stop her, maybe give away a professional foul.
McCabe. Little, so good at retaining possession. On to Catley. Again, Kern's the latest to ensure that there's a foot in there to prevent Arsenal threading it through. They've not had much ball in and around Rachel Law's penalty area so far. Daniels' throw. Daniels again. Valti. Nice touch from McCabe, who's on the move here, but then lets herself down with the final pass. Fired up to Kiernan, who couldn't make it stick. Quickly forwards by Ford. Iwabuchi on the turn. Ford chasing. Caitlin Ford across dangerously. Paris was waiting. First time that Arsenal have really cut through.
Yeah, it was a good move by Arsenal, wasn't it? But really well defended by Liverpool in the end. But that's what Iwabuchi can do, thread those little balls. Good defending by Rhiannon Roberts just to get to the ball first and to play their way out of trouble.
The Australian contingent, as well as Iwabuchi, not involved in the latest international window, which meant that Jonas Eidevall had some international talent that was still fairly fresh following the recent spate of international action. Launched again by Laws. Helped on to Stengel. Paris now for Arsenal. Iwabuchi. Catley on the move. Feeding Ford, who's drifted wide left. Looking for the angle for the cross. Little. Again, plenty in red back there to block the route to goal. But Ford could be in here! Caitlin Ford! And Lords can't keep it out. And Arsenal have the opening goal. First time they've had a serious sight of the Liverpool goal, and they've made it pay, courtesy of Caitlin Ford.
Like I say, the last couple of minutes, Caitlin Ford's really been getting on the ball a lot more, hasn't she, on the left-hand side, but now central. You could see how hard Liverpool were to get bodies back behind the ball and back pressure on it, but Raffaele just did enough. What a lovely through ball, way to pass. And again, Caitlin runs so well on a non-preferred foot, that left-footed side, but she just does enough to send it goal-bound.
Well, not even a sniff of a celebration from Caitlin Ford. Her first Arsenal goal since scoring in the Champions League in mid-November, and one that gives Arsenal the lead with just under 20 minutes played.
I think Liverpool will be really disappointed. You saw the reaction from Rachel Laws. I think for all the hard work in the opening 19 minutes, the high press and recovering the ball back and having a good spells of the ball, but to give a goal away quite as cheap as that when you have got so many bodies back, you know, they will be disappointed. It is quite a cheap goal to give away.
Paris. Yeah, a bit of a sucker punch that for Liverpool, who'd traded blows with Arsenal early on. Maritz to Williamson. Raffaelli. Almost confusion with Catley, and there was. And away goes Kiernan. Here's the chance for the leveller! Was there a touch from the keeper, or was there a handball? That's what she's appealing for. But I think there'll still be disappointment. She didn't put the ball in the net regardless of that.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the mix-up, Raffaelli and Catley, but great pressure from Kiernan. We've seen how lively she is at the start of this great game. I really think Kiernan, Stengel, Lawley, they understand pressing from the front, and they can force errors like that with this Arsenal back four. She'll know that's a big chance to get a team back into this game.
Well, it has been the kind of even contest that we anticipated between the WSL and Championship leaders. Should be easy enough for Williams, and in fact she'll let it just go behind.
It's interesting, Liverpool in their domestic games, they often, when the ball does go out to wide areas to their wingers, on this occasion Daniels and Hines, they do like to deliver from deep. They like to get crosses into the box. That's probably the first one that we've seen where Daniels has had time and space to really pick out players, but didn't on that occasion.
He might feel a little bit fortunate that his side are in front on the balance of play. He'll feel a bit hard done by. Worked on for Catley. Four in yellow in and around the area. Decent looking ball in as well. Nancy was chasing it, couldn't get there. Katie McCabe seems to be drifting in field to a more central area.
Well, that's how you draw players out, isn't it? That's where you maybe draw a centre-back into a place or a position that they don't want to go, and with there being now Raffaelli, Catley and McCabe, you know, so naturally left-footed, they open up this side of the pitch, and it gives you natural balance with your team, and it does allow more freedom for McCabe to do that, and when you know Catley's coming down the outside.
Seem to be finding their groove a bit more now, Arsenal. Packed penalty area, Paris was waiting, it's dropped for Little. Raffaelli. Catley. Williamson pokes it forwards, intelligent pass that. Paris on the turn. Early ball in from her as well. Met well by Fahy. Only as far as Little. Arsenal starting to find their groove.
And that's the thing, when Arsenal do find their groove, You know, it's how do you stop them? How do you get up to the ball, put pressure on when maybe you're feeling a little bit fatigued in terms of we haven't had the ball in a while.
That's well worked, though. Kiernan after it. Catley in attendance. Daniels, first time ball in. That's a good-looking one as well. It's a free kick Arsenal's way. Stengel just making her presence felt a bit too strongly on Raffaelli, but that was an excellent delivery.
It was. Initially, Leanne Kiernan does so well down the outside to give the setback to Daniels, and it was a much better ball than that first one we saw earlier. But yeah, Katie Stengel, you know, probably she needs to let the centre-backs know she's there and come for the ball, but she needs to make an attempt to actually get the ball. But I've seen her over the years score some fantastic goals with her head, so she's certainly an aerial threat.
Catley, Iwabuchi, was that a hand? This is the referee, and away come Liverpool. Kiernan. He's starting to get a few more balls into the box, but that one wasn't ideal. Maritz is there.
I do think Liverpool are having some joy down this right-hand side with Daniels, with Kiernan, with Stengel coming over. It seems like Arsenal's weak point is their left-hand side, and Liverpool's right-hand side, they seem to be finding an opening.
All the way back to Laws. Not a great clearance from her, straight to Paris. Little. Raffaelli. Again, though, good closing down has forced the error. Williams. Iwabuchi. Ford loses out. Here's Daniels, and her and Kiernan not on the same page. You do get the feeling an Arsenal error is very much in there.
Yeah, that's right, but I think it's being caused by the Liverpool press. I think, you know, especially the two centre midfielders of Missy Bo-Kearns. I think she's reading the game exceptionally well. You know, going player for player and really putting the onus on Arsenal. I think maybe after half-time we might sort that. Sometimes teams need half-time and a communication, a proper debrief on how to solve the Liverpool press, whether it's going over from Lydia Williams or Williamson or Raffaelli. But, you know, it's certainly working for Liverpool. They need to ideally capitalise on it this first half before they get a chance to solve the problems.
Catley's throw. Back again.
Who's got next?
That looked like a foul from here. Back to Valti meanwhile. Chase on here for Catley, she'll get there. Feeding McCabe. Offloads to Raffaelli. Catley. Good block from Yana Daniels. Catley. Here's Little. Iwabuchi dropping into the pocket. Little. Catley. all a bit congested.
It's great defensive work from Liverpool. They just allow Arsenal to have the passes, and then all of a sudden they will let you know they're there. On that occasion, Holland just putting it out for a throw-in, just being uber physical. And I think we saw that in games when they've played WSL opponents this season, with Aston Villa narrowly losing to Tottenham 1-0 in the Continental Cup. You know, because a lot of players have WSL experience and international experience, they know the physicality required and the ball speed and the concentration levels that are needed.
Little rolls it on to Catley. Here's Little. Raffaeli. Williamson with the big launch forwards. Great ball, great save as well. Kim Little denied by a magnificent stop from Rachel Laws. That was some save to save the day for Liverpool and prevent Arsenal going 2-up.
It was a fantastic move, wasn't it? We've seen this in the WSL time again with Leah Williamson's distribution. She likes that switch pass, and Kim Little just peels on the back of row. But like you say, fantastic save by Laws at a really crucial time.
Oh, that could be a big moment in this FA Cup tie. And Rachel Laws has plenty of company in there. Arsenal with a set-piece routine, which doesn't come off. Or does it? Oh, my! What an absolutely magnificent strike from Katie McCabe. One of the best goals you will see all season. Absolutely arrowed into the net from McCabe. You simply do not save those. What a strike, and Arsenal in charge.
Oh, wow. We were up off our seats. That is fantastic. I don't know why Katie McCabe looks so surprised, because we've seen her score some absolutely tremendous goals, but how quick that happens, the technique, the power. I mean, Rachel Laws could not have saved that. That was unbelievable.
I know that she is meticulous in her homework before games, and she will routinely watch video clips of opponents, reminding herself of little sort of traits, penalty takers' quirks, and whether a goal-scoring midfielder favours their left foot or right foot. But no amount of homework or research will help you keep that kind of strike out.
I mean, that's just pure class, isn't it? The speed of how quickly the ball lands to her, that's just having the confidence and the aura to back yourself in that moment, know you've got the technique, and let fly. Wow.
Well, it's a real body blow for Liverpool as well, who can justifiably feel hard done by at the 2-0 scoreline. Had that opportunity, which went just wide of the post. Little now, as Arsenal look to turn the screw. Well, they just need to get to half-time now, Liverpool.
They really do. And but that's what happens when you play top.
Ford, she's gone for it! Oh! Another wonderful strike from Arsenal. This time, fantastic from Ford. And the WSL leaders beginning to make light work of the team running away with the championship. Rachel Laws with some stern words for her backline, but again, it's a finish that you cannot really legislate for.
It's fantastic again, isn't it? What a treat we've been witness to today. Ford does wow, doesn't she? She manoeuvres her body, let the ball go across it. Look how fast she moves her body. A little touch off her chest. But again, it sits up nice, and you think, why not have a strike? Absolutely fantastic. That's got to be one of the best goals I've seen her score in the WSL. I know this is FA Cup today, but so far her time in England.
Well, she's yet to score in the WSL for Arsenal this season in her 8 previous appearances. She's only started 2 of those games, mind you. Found the net in the Champions League a couple of times, and now a double in the FA Cup this afternoon. It's a long way back for Liverpool now, and it's not just the scoreline, it's the morale, given that they've had their chances. They won't want to see the likes of the Arsenal bench getting warmed up. Liverpool have got some substitutes that they can call upon as well, and maybe Matt Beard is already starting to think about shuffling his pack. They've got a corner here, and this last 10 minutes of the first half is a bit of a test of their resolve. That says it all.
It does. I was about to say earlier how, you know, when you do play the top teams in the WSL, you just need one lapse, one mistake, one lapse in concentration, and you can be punished. And that is exactly what Liverpool have been. They've been punished for their slight, you know, marking the wrong side too high, not closing down quick enough, and we've seen a couple of wonder strikes.
Can they fashion something to get themselves back into the reckoning? It was another good corner. There's been a couple of good balls from out wide. This hit that comes in is not quite of the same calibre as the Arsenal attempts from Melissa Lawley.
It's really good to see Mal Lawley start for Liverpool. We haven't seen that in a few weeks. You know, she's such a talented player, huge, lots of WSL experience. And, you know, we do see a lot of players now stepping down to be with the club, see the project, you know, see it through, get a lot of game time, and then eventually come up to the WSL. So it's great to see her, because she certainly is a great attacking talent.
Joined in June 2019 after a couple of seasons with Manchester City women. Well, 3-0 down, but Liverpool haven't really done a great deal wrong, just undone by 2 moments of absolute quality, perhaps caught napping a little bit for the opening goal scored by Caitlin Ford. They've been in Arsenal's faces, they've put themselves into a couple of decent positions as well going forwards, but the cold hard facts are that it's going to require something miraculous now. Paris. Might be a day for her to make a Nikita Paris. Saw Jonas Eideveld saying that the team need to get better at appreciating Paris's off-the-ball movement. Not to score in the WSL for Arsenal. She got one against Spurs in the FA Cup, hasn't scored since. Eideveld says that he doesn't think she's been as prolific at Arsenal as she was at Lyon and Manchester City because she's so hard-working. Daniels. Stengel turns but loses possession. Catley with the throw then, Arsenal happy to just take it down to walking pace.
I think now Arsenal have the luxury, don't they, to, you know, there's no rush, there's no pressure, they can just pick their moment and wait for the opening and the space to open up, find the free player.
McCabe. Ford. McCabe, the 2 goal scorers combining. McCabe then going over. And the free kick goes the other way.
Be interesting to see that back, won't it? But Ford does good running in the channel once again. I'm not sure there's anything in that.
Well, she spoke about the huge privilege that she feels after winning her 100th cap for the Republic of Ireland during the international break. Brought up a century of appearances when she skippered them in their 2-1 win over Poland in a Pinata Cup game just over a week and a half ago. Banged forwards by Laws, and it's going to go all the way through to Williams. Again, Liverpool applying the squeeze well. Catley. Ford, misplaced pass. Lawley. Turn the area to aim for, it's gone back instead. Now it's launched in, and Williams was concerned, but Hines not testing her in the end.
I think Hines has been having a brilliant season, and it's a player that I'd like to see get on the ball more for Liverpool. I think she can really cause a lot of problems. She works well down that left-hand side. She delivers some good balls, can shoot from distance. Again, it's just Liverpool seem to be right-hand dominant, and I know that they're getting in, so why not? But she's a key player and could cause Arsenal some problems.
And popped up with 3 goals in her 15 championship appearances this season, Hines. As you mentioned, it has all been coming down this right for Liverpool. Throw looking to get Iwabuchi in round the back, Fahy wise to it. Holland. Intelligent pass, just a bit too much on it for Kiernan. Williamson, hassled and harried by Stengel, but has come away with it still. Almost sold her short with the pass. Ford. Here goes Raffaelli. Oh, and that was a bit naughty. And player in yellow down, and I think we're going to see a yellow card. No real complaints from Leanne Robe.
You can see the decision from Robe was right, wasn't it? Every time Raffaelli's got on the ball, she's created some. She got the assist for the first goal, and she creates something. So it was the right decision to try and stop her progressing up the pitch, but it was clearly late on Raffaelli and a deserved yellow card. But I think she just got the timing wrong. You know, Raffaelli needed to be pressed and put pressure on her so she doesn't, because she's so composed on the ball, so a promising attack didn't carry on, but she just got the timing and everything all wrong.
And the Brazilian back to her feet. McCabe and Little both interested. McCabe not enough on it, collected by Hines. Little tidies things up. Williams forwards.
You can see how hard Liverpool work. Look how quickly they've got up the pitch, putting pressure on Arsenal. You know, maybe against some other teams I've seen them stay in and let Arsenal have the ball and get in their rhythm and control, but Liverpool certainly don't do that. They haven't done that, which is really encouraging. My only concern is, can they keep it up for the second half and throughout the whole 90 minutes now?
And Arsenal with almost complete squad to choose from as well, so they'll have plenty to draft on from the bench. Wilburn Moy, the only absentee. In case you missed it earlier, Beth Mead being rested. Oh, and that's given to Iwabuchi. Arsenal looking for a fourth before the break, but very good covering from Kerry Holland. Again, it's coming down that right for Liverpool. Kiernan has committed the foul, though, on Catley.
You can see she's the outlet for Liverpool, isn't she? Runs the channels and the spaces really well, and she's just waiting for that ball to be played in. I think the referee's rightly saying now, look, that's a few too many professional fouls. Not that there's any intent, but you're just stopping Arsenal progressing up the pitch, and it's one too many. So I think then that's probably the warning, another one, and she'd be having a yellow card too. So she needs to be careful.
Final minute of normal time in a first half that has been marked by two very, very special goals, especially the one from Katie McCabe. I guess at half-time, Matt Beard's message might be, well, look, you haven't actually played that badly, you've just been undone by a few moments of magic.
Exactly. I can't think he can question their work rate, attitude, enthusiasm, the execution of the game plan, because they've certainly pressed extremely well. It's just been that final ball in the final third that's let them down. But you could arguably say that a lot of teams that have played Arsenal this year. But you're right, it's just been those individual brilliant moments. But for second half, can they carry it on? He needs to really challenge them. Can you go and cause Arsenal even more problems? Can you score past them? You know, really test their character and mentality.
Maritz waits to take the throw into 2 minutes of additional time at the end of the half. Maritz back to Little. Maritz, Arsenal forced to retreat here. Williams. Maritz. Little nearly. Comes back to Laws. Maybe a last chance for Liverpool at the end of this first half. Kiernan. Going down a bit of a blind alley at the moment. And can't maintain possession. Little in a tight spot here. Williams has got to be quick. Paris was a bit too casual. Hines floats it forwards. Stengel can't make it stick. Well, advantage Arsenal at half-time, thanks to some very good work from Caitlin Ford, who's been at the double for them, and an absolutely magnificent Katie McCabe strike. One of the best goals you'll see all season. Not much hope for Rachel Laws with that one, and hope is in short supply for Liverpool at the moment. Half-time, Liverpool 0, Arsenal 3.